Right? Yeah, because we talked about all the NFC. Let's move on to the AFC. So moving on, let's talk about the Browns. So the Browns are they lost to the Houston Texans, and we both chose the Browns to win this game. I believe, right? You did too. Yeah, we both did. I did horrible with my predictions. I'm putting it out there right now. I'm not even gonna let anyone call me out if they're gonna like look back at it and then be like, "Hey, I watched your video. You suck." Yeah, no, I totally sucked with those predictions. But Browns lost to the Texans, which congratulations to the Texans. I think that the Browns are probably just a quarterback away from a deep playoff run. They had issues with their defense this wild card game, which they didn't have issues with their defense all year. So it was really surprising that the one thing that kind of failed for the team that wasn't expected to fail, the defense did fail. That was kind of the unexpected thing. The Browns did fire their offensive coordinator. How much of a difference do you think that really makes, considering that Kevin Stefanski calls the offensive plays? How much do you think that actually makes a difference, firing your offensive coordinator like that?
I think it does. I think it does make a difference. There was a really, really cool piece that one of the 49ers beat writers did a couple months ago. He was allowed into the locker room at halftime of a 49ers game. And one of the interesting revelations that came out of that is when it's halftime and they're scribbling on the whiteboard, the 49ers run game coordinator is writing down all the run plays that are going into the game plan for the second half while Kyle Shanahan is doing the passing plays. That is all put on that run game coordinator's desk, his plate, to figure out those run plays. So there's a lot more to the scheming that goes into the week, and firing the offensive coordinator, is it important or not? Maybe not that important, but the one thing the Browns have to figure out is what they can do to make their quarterback successful enough to get them back to the playoffs, because they don't have any other options.
They're tied up.
Yeah, I mean even the Broncos are moving on from Russell Wilson. They can take whatever the cap hit is. It's pretty nasty, but that contract's fully guaranteed. There's no moving off of it. You just got to play him or hope he retires.
It's $92 million as dead money if you do a post June 1st cut. That's this year. So you're like super tied up. They're $14 million over the cap space currently. When you look at the cut candidates of this team, anything that you look up for cut candidates, three names kind of come to mind. Nick Chubb, Dustin Hopkins, and Elijah Moore, all the guys who pop up. Chubb alone cutting him post June 1st, $12 million. It's like $11.9 million in saved cap space from one dude alone. And running backs are dying in the league. As good as Nick Chubb is, as faithful as he is, it's disappointing. And we're going to talk about the Browns and some trade stuff potentially a little bit later on a deal or no deal. But that's one of the guys. If a potential bargain can be found on the trade market, like one Cleveland got with Amari Cooper, which was moronic for the Cowboys, but great for the Browns, they're going to jump on it. But guys like Azeez Ojulari and Mike Williams, who are on expiring contracts, you might be able to get a little cheaper. Those guys might be potential trade candidates, but that doesn't help with the quarterback situation. They don't have a first round pick. The 2024 draft will be the last draft that Cleveland owes a first round pick to the Texans for the Deshaun Watson trade. And they also own the Browns fourth rounder on top of that. So you're missing two draft picks. You're over the cap space by $14 million. You have a underperforming quarterback with a super, super large overpaying contract. It's kind of like what you said. You have to find a way to make this team good enough, or the quarterback good enough, to get back to the playoffs, or even make a deep playoff run, right?
Yeah, the only other option they have is, if it doesn't work out with Deshaun next year, is they just draft a quarterback really, really high the year prior. And then you just you obviously bench Deshaun, and then you just operate as if a team you operate as a team with a massive cap hit for QB. They kind of made a deal with the devil the way they did this, and how they knew he was going to be suspended the first year with his $1 million cap hit and all that other nonsense. And they're kind of paying for it now, but that's what Jimmy Haslam gets. But the defense is super talented. So you have to figure something out, because you can continue to go to the playoffs the next couple of years, even with a question mark at quarterback. And you don't need Nick Chubb to do it. Obviously, you learned that this year. And so I would almost guarantee at this point, I'd write it down
Yeah.
in permanent marker that he's not going to be on the team next year. And you have to figure out a way to make it work with Deshaun because you have no other option unless you're going to bench him and ride a rookie.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is if they're going to take someone in the second round. I mean, if you look at second round candidates, well, you have JJ McCarthy. What's his name?
Bo
It's like
Nix, maybe.
something Bo Nix, maybe. What's that other kid's name? Something Pratt, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
his name?
Yeah.
There's a couple guys out there who are like second to third rounders who could turn into something. You know, do you really want to take a hit and a risk on a guy as controversial as Spencer Rattler? You know, so it kind of depends, right? I mean, those are a couple of candidates that could come around in the second or third round. But at the end of the day, do you want to continue to build this team and ride with it next year? And then, like you said, the year after, draft a quarterback in the first round, maybe even high first round? Or are you going to try to take a quarterback, see what you have, evaluate him? If Deshaun's not winning and not playing well, sub that rookie in and let him play. Is he good enough, right? Is he going to be Joe Flacco good enough? That's kind of the level, right? Is he good enough to just be Joe Flacco off the couch good enough? Because that's all I need you to be. And the fact that Deshaun Watson wasn't even Joe Flacco off the couch good enough, it says a lot, man. It says a lot about him.
Well, at this point, I don't even think we're at a conversation where we're evaluating Deshaun's talent. I think we're evaluating Deshaun's heart. You know, is he going to miss 3 weeks every time he sprains his pinky toe because he's got this guaranteed contract? Listen, if the owner of my business came in and said, "Listen, Drew, we're going to put you on a salary. You're going to make this money. It's more money than you've ever been made. It's more money than we're paying anyone else. And no matter what, I can't fire you." There's not much motivation there for me to work hard because I'm getting the money anyway. And
Hey,
I
man,
think,
he could call out and just say the roads are icy, right?
yeah,
Hey, I can't go. The roads are icy, right? My name's
it's
DeAndre, and I
cold.
can't go play. It's really freezing, you know. Somehow, guys can come out and make it out to my house and try to clear the roads, but I can't make it to the game somehow. Weird. First guy in NBA history, I swear, to call out of a game. It's insane. And Deshaun Watson might be the first guy in the NFL to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Bo Nix is the answer. I don't think JJ
Yeah,
McCarthy is the answer there. At least not this year. But
yeah.
um, I don't know. There's a million things you can do. The problem is the defense is too talented to put you in the top 10 for picks. You know, even if
Yeah,
Deshaun, let's say he sprains his ankle and goes on the IR for the entire season, you're still going to win games. Look at the Jets this year. The Jets won a couple games. So
very
um,
true.
honestly, if I were the Browns, I would hire um, the most. You know, Greg Roman got a offensive coordinator interview the other day for the Chicago Bears, which had everyone freaking out because that makes it seem like they're going to keep Fields.
Yeah, Justin. Yeah,
Maybe the
I don't
Browns
know.
trade for Justin Fields.
Well, again, we're going to talk about Justin Fields later on in
My
our deal
fault.
or no deal.
My bad.
No, you're good, dude. It's the preview. People can wait for it.